With you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, he actually contacted me. Apparently, he got wind that I was a new guy, and I guess new guys are kind of popular in pursuit. And he contacted me by email because I keep it correct in QRZ. And he asked me if I wanted to set up a skid, and I said sure, but I have a horrible noise level, you know. And so we ended up having to use Q65 to complete the QSO, get through the noise, but he got through it.
But you don't have the noise now, huh?
No, I dropped the noise down by about 7 dB, sometimes as much as 9 dB, and as little as 5 or 6 dB, depending upon where everything's pointed and what the power pole is doing over there.
Wow. Well, he let you work some other 3 Aggie stations, so he must have had a condition where you were cross-polarized. I can't remember the first letter. You said it, and I want to say Z, but it isn't Z. I too. That's, for God's sake, I've worked him 100 times. It's been a couple of 5 years since I talked to him. Anyway, he's usually moving your S meter, but he must have been cross-polarized to you, so that's maybe why you had trouble hearing him.
Yeah, he said that he was switching polarizations, trying to, but he got me so he was hearing me every sequence, and he got a bit frustrated because I wasn't hearing him, and I said, well, I have, 7, 8, 9 dB or more of power pole noise, but getting these antennas and putting them down real low to the ground on the other side of the hill to block the PG&E and also the noise from town really did the trick. I mean, it made a horrendous difference on my noise level, and now I'm able to work average guys with less antenna than me on EME, so I think it's working. I'm giving the same reports as I'm getting.
Yeah, Roger, good. I too. I just had it and I lost it again. What's his first letter to call? I2 what?
F.
F, yeah, damn it. I can't remember that. I2FAK. Mario or something?
Yeah, Franco. Yeah. Yeah, he contacted me, a really friendly guy, and then he tutored me through how to set up because I know ST8, but not really how to set up the JT65 and to set up the transmitter and do all the stuff to put his call in there and as a DX call in his grid and get all set up, and then how to operate Q65, and then you have to kind of manually step through it. So he kind of did all that by email and had me all primed and ready to go, so I kind of knew enough to be able to make the QSO.
Yeah, good. Well, you work it many times again. That when you get on the other 2 antennas, you probably work them on sideband. Well, I don't know if we speak very good English.
Kind of exciting. You were saying about -20, you can actually get sideband, huh?
-20 is where your ear detects a sound, or not much below that you can detect it. That's CW. Now, sideband, you're looking at 12 to 15.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll keep my eye open for that. But, so I figured, well, I'd go out because I knew the things were cut to the middle of the band, 146. So I just added, I put little studs out they're half-inch, the driven elements, half-inch material. So I put 3/8 and slated in there. And then I put a little set screw in there. So the set screw barely extends out from the element, so it really doesn't disrupt anything or cause a lump to be there. And I just adjusted everything for maximum smoke.
The set screw go out the end or off the side of the element?
off the side of the element.
Okay. It doesn't matter. It'd be better if you just had a plug of aluminum and you have it extended the other way, and you could just run a set screw or a screw in and out from the end and make it longer or shorter. You're doing the same thing, it's just not out. Doesn't matter. But you're not, again, you always misstate this, and it bothers me because you're not making the antenna work any different. You're not changing how the antenna works at all. All you're doing is fixing the match. If the antenna is still working at 146, it's still working at 146, and you haven't fixed the thing, over?
Oh, yeah, okay, because all the parasitic elements are still all cut to the middle of the band, I guess. So, yeah, I just set it up to the driven element, and I didn't change the reflector or the first director or any of that. I didn't change any of them. I just fixed the match. So, yeah, the SWR came down considerably.
Yeah, well, again, you can match anything with the T-match. So, again, the match doesn't mean much if once the antenna is designed, you're not fixing much. You're not changing front to back, you're not changing the pattern, you're not changing much of anything. Very, very minuscule changes occur with the driven element. Anyway, I'm hearing the guys down south, and I wanted to see if I could reach them. Maybe I could get their attention for a second and ask them if anybody's watching the live feed that we've got. I don't know if Aaron's in here yet this evening. Aaron, are you here yet?
The live feed is on right now.
Oh, it is on, so he's got it turned on already. Okay, good deal. Thanks for that. And anybody else in here for an early check-in? K6MYC Bozo Net, pointing toward KB6RQU, Southern California. Okay, we missed you the other day. Ben, we called and called, but I guess you weren't in on Sunday night or something. Anyway, good to hear you. M6SWR, kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie. Very good. And good evening to you. Is it cold down there? Well, it's not particularly cold here. I was just talking to Dave up 15 miles north of us here, but he's about 1,000 feet higher than I am, and it gets colder as you go higher. But it's not cold here. But cold is relative. You know, he said it was 39 in the shack. I'm not anywhere near that cold here. I think we're still in the low 50s or high 40s here, so not too bad. But I'm in the house today. I'm operating here in the house to get used to this setup because we may do it this way for quite a while. That way I can live stream on 2 meters without having to hook up the barn. Only 2 stations that are really the biggest station, and the need for the barn is 1296. And I have 2 meters out there also, but I also have 2 meters here, and now I'm hearing you on the moon back, so I could probably get more out of your signal, but you're adequate for now. Rob isn't in here yet, but he probably will be before very long.
KM6SR.
They are. Say hello to Ben.
Good evening, Ben. N6SWR, KM6SR. Oops, forgot the amp. Good evening, Ben. N6SWR, KM6SRR. Well, you were coming in pretty good here. My estimator doesn't do much on this one unless it ever is booming in, but you were coming in good. Now it seems like you dropped down a bit as soon as I turned on my amp. Over. I don't know. That'd be a Mikey question. Over.
Oh, no, they don't do that. Just pull in your leg.
Hey, Ben, make sure you pull on both of them. I want to be equal, over. Yeah, that's how you were earlier. Yeah, I was saying, mess with both legs. If you're pulling one, pull the other. I don't want to be lopsided, over.
Yeah, so we can walk on his heels, huh? Yeah, I was doing that today. Rob, you should have seen me the last couple of days. I found a pine tree that had never been touched here up by the road. Man, oh man, what a job. A lot of dead limbs, and finally I got everything out of there. We got to the point where I could get into the trunk and start to cut things off, and I got a paddle brush that you wouldn't believe, but the bottom 10 limbs of the tree are dead and bowing down toward the ground, so I got those cleaned up and cut them off, and then I hooked a rope on them today and pulled them because I couldn't reach them, I pulled them with the ATV and snapped them off. So I've got the pine tree looking half decent now. At least it's safe from the standpoint of fire. It looked like a fire stick before.
Roger, yeah, that's what happens. Those dead limbs on the ground bring the fire into the canopy, and then it gets so hot it goes from tree to tree, over.
Should I bring a torch?
I didn't catch who he was saying was S7, over. KM6SR, over. Okay, Ben, thank you. Yeah, you came up to where my meter's showing you now. I got about an S3 on you, over. Well, you're perfectly legible even without the S3, so you're doing good there, over.
Okay, well, Net started here, so let's see if Rick is down there. Rick, KB6RQU, are you listening? K6MYC Bozo Net.
BBS is.
Okay. Go ahead, Frank.
Well, good evening, Rob. Good evening, Mike. And anybody else is listening, this is W6BBS number 72 in DMO7. And I guess you didn't catch it. I said, should I bring the torch tomorrow? Would you like to do some burning if we have a burn day, over?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, I will bring the tractor and a torch tomorrow. And that sounds like a good project to accomplish, over.
Yeah, I got a ton of stuff. It may be, you can look at it. I've got one big pile that we could break up, but maybe you want to burn it right where it is. It's a long ways to drag to get it to the burning pile. You might want to burn it right where it is. We have to, I think best I should bring the hose that's by the water tanks up and hook it up to that faucet and then put a spray nozzle on it, so if we get in trouble we can crank it. It's heavy grass in that area, very heavy. I've raked a lot of it, but it's heavy and it's liable to really take off on us, so let's get the hose hooked up first and then we can fire it up.
Yeah, okay, we'll take a look at the situation, and if it looks real bad, we're now up to both your elevation and my elevation showing 80% chance of rain on Sunday, up to a half inch at your place, 3/4 at mine. So we might actually get a little bit wet, and if that area just looks too bad to burn, we'll just wait till it rains real good, and then we'll burn it after. And that way we got no trouble if it looks too bothersome. But we'll take a look at it and see. As you know, we got pretty good at that, especially that last year when they let fire season go and go and go forever, and I was getting more nervous every day that we burned. But we we're careful and kept on control on things. So, all righty, you will see me in the morning then. And hey, question: what band are you going to be on in the morning, chatting with your buddies? Over.
40 meters, 7144, or we move down sometimes if it's real busy to 37.
Okay, well, that ixnays what I was thinking about. Just FYI, I had been, putzing here and there and a little bit here, a little bit there for, well, as you know, I poured the concrete like 6 weeks ago for the 72-foot tower for the 20-meter beam. And a little bit here when I felt good for an hour, I'd go do a little bit and nothing real hard or anything. And next thing you know, a few weeks later, all I had left to do recently was get the feed lines hooked up and the rotor cable and all that. But the 20-meter beam lives again. It's at 72 feet up on that ridge by the water tank, and just looking down on the world like it's the king of the world. And before I cranked it up, I did. It was just kind of pointed south. And I just came down and I tested the hard lines as I hooked everything up. And I got in the shack and I heard some guy in Virginia calling. And so I called in his pileup and worked the guy in one call. And other than that, the band is pretty well dead. But anyways, 20 meters is back up and fully functional. Good evening to Rob and Mike and everybody else, W6BBS.
Okay. We're shifted because it's vacation time for Billy over there. The S1 SPW will be on 20, but not tomorrow morning. He'll be on Friday, one day early. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he'll be on mornings. So you could try it Friday morning. That'd be good. It gives you a good chance to check the long path at about 290 to 300 degrees, over.
Yeah, roger that. Well, you remember I used to work them all the time from down in the hole below me, and I worked them quite easily and quite well, but I'm quite anxious to see what that long path looks at from up here, because it is just a drop-off, as you well know. By the time you get 75 feet out in front of the tower, the ground has already dropped 50 feet. Effectively, at that point, at 70 feet in front of the antenna, the antenna is over 120 feet in the air. So it should just be gangbusters. I'm all excited to finally get to play with it, over.
Well, Monday morning, 14:205, and right at 8 o'clock. You could jump in there for a half hour or so and then blaze down here if you're feeling well enough. Good. Well, we'll see you in the morning. Don't run away here tonight if you can stay out in the shack, if you can stay warm for a few minutes. We'll see who else is in here. I'm beaming south at the moment, looking for Rick, KB6RQU. Rick?
Kilo Golf 6, Charlie Echo Fox.
Okay,
Kilo Echo 6, Victor, Oscar November.
Good evening, girl. You're sounding good, over.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah, you guys too. Frank, you bend my needle over here.
Roger that. Same thing. Just blasting in, over.
Roger. I got to come over and check your place out. I got a pretty good idea where you are.
Oh, yeah. That is anytime you like, as long as I'm here. Come on up and I'll give you the tour.
Okay, cool. All right, well, on with the net. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, Roger.
Good evening, Frank, W6BBS, and good evening, Dale, KG6CEF, KM6SR, standing by.
Hey, Rob, I almost took a picture with my phone today as I was standing on my pad looking up the hill where the tower is, and that 20-meter beam just way up there against the sky, 125, 30 feet above me. And I stood there thinking I should go grab my phone and take a picture and just send that to Rob just as a teaser. Good evening, Rob, W6BBS.
KE6VON 1040.
Where'd you go, Rob?
I didn't have a comeback for that one, over.
I heard it feeling. Okay, good evening, Adam. Is it KE6VON? I have the news for you. Let me see. E6VON. Forgot your number, Adam.
1040, 1040.
Hey, Mike, you can remember by 1040, Robert Ducky.
There you go. Okay. The other chainsaw with the good blade on it, the brighter red one, the one I was struggling with getting it going, when I used your technique of not closing the throttle, it fired right up, did exactly what it was supposed to do. So I did some heavy cutting today. The log up by the tree that we've been working on, Frank, is cut into little pieces now. And there's a pile of lumber there that maybe you could get the bucket under and probably take a couple of trips that you could bring it down and put it closer to the house. I've got all the little stuff cleaned up out of there, and everything now is at least 5 or 6 inches in diameter or bigger. So all that stuff could be brought down. The only one I haven't cut up yet, and I was going to do it, but I didn't see it till I was already telling myself I was done for the day, and that's the one the log that you rolled down the hill. It's still about 8 feet long. But I'll go through that one and get that one cut and get it out of the way as well tomorrow. I think we can burn where we are. It's the wind has been very, very light when we have it, and it's coming from the southwest. So that's the backside of the hill. It's sheltered there. We shouldn't have a wind issue. And I think if we just hook up the hose and make sure we got water there if we need it, I think we're in good shape for that color.
Yeah, roger that. A little delay looking for the foot switch there. Yeah, not a problem, Mike. And I will have the tractor and everything with me and all the accoutrements, so we should be golden. And also roger that on everything about 20 meters and the days and the schedule and whatnot. So I'll just get scooting out of here a little bit early. I haven't loaded the tractor or anything yet. I just didn't think about it. I got to looking at all this feed line and everything laying up this canyon, and it had been pulled up there once and then pulled back out for a bunch of brushing and to take a big pine tree that was dead down. And I started messing with that, and so I didn't get the tractor loaded. I'll get that done in the morning, though, and I will see you down there, sir. And yes, I will be sticking around here for a while paying attention. That's the other thing I forgot to tell you. I finally dug out the old propane heater and filled up a bottle. So I do have a little propane heater in here, so I got a little bit of heat in the shack now. Makes it a little bit more sufferable. K6MYC W6BBS.
Okay, well, they must have fixed you up with some, they got you some pain medicine, or have you got any resolution on the side problem?
No resolution. Advil, they offered me the Tylenol free, but I've still got some of that from something else once before, and it's, whether it's any good or not, but I really hate taking that stuff. I just become a total, doesn't work that good compared to my hollow-headed, can't think, can't see or anything feeling that I get on it. So if I have to, I'll take a few Advil, but I had a pretty good day today, so I don't push it too hard. And, I've almost got myself convinced that I just tore up my muscles and whatnot somewhat, and with the cold weather setting in and, a little arthritis and whatnot I got in the back, a combination of everything has just got me down. But from the doctors, their point of view right at the moment is there's nothing wrong with me that they can find, and they are consulting other specialists. Over.
Okay, good deal. Alrighty. I was going to say something else. Now I forgot what it was. Okay, let me see if we got one more call for Rick, and then we're going to give up on Rick this evening. It's already 1:45. KB6RQU, Rick, and Lake Isabella, K6MYC. Where are you, buddy?
Hey, Mike, real quick. Tomorrow is a burn day up 3,000 feet, FYI.
Maybe different than that up here. We haven't had a 3,000 and up burn day forever. It's always been 2,000 or more, and it'll probably be a burn day tomorrow down to 1,000.
Negative. I just looked on San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control, and for Madera County, it is 3,000 feet and above. And it makes sense right now with the air quality. Until we actually get a storm or some good winds to blow everything out, they're not going to lift it. They're not going to move it below 1,000 feet or 3,000 feet.
Okay, very good. Anyway, as I said, I got that chainsaw working, and it's cutting like a demon. That's the one that had the sharp blade. The other one doesn't have a blade toward the dam on it. But those are the two. But I haven't had a reason to come down. I had to cancel my my trip tomorrow, so I will not be there tomorrow, or nobody will be, to drop off or pick up chainsaw, so not to worry. I'm not going back into town until Tuesday next week. It may or may not work at that point. Anyway, that chainsaw's fine, other than the fact that I don't have a chain to fit it, except for the one that's on it. Right. Let's see. Last call, San Joaquin Valley, before I go to Atascadero.
KC5 DTU 712.
Mike, you're here in Cary, KC5 DTU, KM6SRR, standing by.
Hi, sir. You're covering the other guys that are calling in, Rob. Hang on when you do that. Okay, 249 off the backside. We hear you, Richard. We got you checked in. 249. We got you. 712. KC5 DTU. Gotcha. And good evening, Kerry. Good to hear you. Good, strong signal this evening. And here, Richard. Richard, you copying me off the back? You're checked in. KD6BQ, K6MYC, over. Your Q5 will be up that way. I'm still trying to dig out any other check-ins in the San Joaquin Valley here pointed south. 7-3, Richard, but we've got you. If you have to take off, if you can stick around, all the better. Good signal even off the backside. KD6BQ, K6MYC. Good night for now. Okay. And Kerry, let's see. What's new? Well, there's probably some side news that you've got that's collecting.
Yeah, I got some, but I'll do as usual, get it knocked to tie up the net, and I'm going to head over to the 10. But I'll be landlining you or else seeing you here in town. But other than that, spent a day. I had to go do my yearly thing at the range and did that and got it over with for the year. So good for another year.
What range is that? A shooting range?
Yeah, affirmative. In order to keep our qualification to carry, we have to go out to the range every year. So got that done for the year today, and it kind of kept me away from everything going on, and just saw some of the people out there that I work with and everything, and so it was a good day.
Well, good. Glad you got the CC thing taken care of. Good deal.
Yeah, well, we don't have a CC. It's a federal law that we have to abide by that gives us authority. So it's a yearly thing you have to do.
Yeah, okay. But they don't call it a concealed carry?
That's affirmative. It's an actual law, HR 218. So. And we have to go out every year in order to be able to carry.
Okay, very good. All righty. That's one more call for Rick down there, KB6RQU. Rick, where are you? He isn't there tonight, that's for sure. All right, let's go to Atascadero. We don't have very many check-ins here this evening. We've only got 10 check-ins so far. Atascadero coming up. I may have trouble with Atascadero because it's behind my hill here. What I have to do is go to 180 on this one. Let's see. Yeah. Let me go to 180 and see if he can hear me. Maybe you'll call, Frank. You might want to use your call. Or you, Rob, call W6QUI in Atascadero and see if you can get through to him there. K6MYC standing by. Go ahead, Rob.
W6QUI, this KM6SR with K6MYC in the Bozo Net. Are you on tonight, Ron? Over.
Yeah, I'm here. Let me get things going here. Wow. Good evening, W6. Hang on, let me get my amp on here. Okay, there we go. Now we got the amp on. Anyway, good evening. You guys were nice and loud, but you're starting to fade away over here. I think the band's taking a dump. Over.
Roger, Ron. Yeah, I thought I heard you in there before you turned the amp on really low. So good to hear you there. Do you have copy on mic? Over.
Yeah, you're probably talking too fast for the old man over there. W6QUI, K6MYC, beaming at 180. Not loud, but Q5, Ron, over.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I've been reading the mail on you guys. All of you been pretty good. BBS was really loud. Even on my loop, I could hear him. Pretty amazing. Anyway, yeah, I think the band's acting weird. I just got off of 80 meters, and it folded up at 7:30, so there's something funny going on out there, I think. Eric should be here. He said he'd be checking in, so he got his ATV running today. I was watching him earlier, so mine's broke, so I'm working on it right now. Anyway, over to you, and then give it to Eric, W6QUI.
Well, why don't you turn it to Eric right now? KN6EIV, Eric, pick it up if you're copying me. Otherwise, Ron, turn it to him, over.
Now, Mike, turn it to you, Eric. Frank, BBS, is I think the one that called me first.
No, that was Rob.
Anybody copying Eric over there?
Hey, I can hear him, but no readability. Frank, why don't you say hello to the guys down there? Go ahead, Frank. Thanks, go on. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, Ron, I was copying Eric real lightly, but I had a copy on him. This is KM6SRR, over.
Okay, very good. Well, yeah, you got a good signal over here, Rob. Copy you fine. Yeah, it seems like you guys were really loud, and then all of a sudden you just kind of dropped to nothing. So I think propagation just went down the tubes here. Eric's not hearing you guys, and you're not hearing him. So anyway, check us both in. Over.
Roger, we'll do. Yeah, I heard Eric a little bit there when he was talking, but he didn't stay on long. Over.
Okay, go ahead again, Eric. He just called you there, Rob.
Yeah, now he's definitely gone. I didn't hear it at all there. Thanks anyway, Ron. KM6SRR.
Okay, now I'm pointed at 70 degrees, Ron. Have Eric try it one more time.
Oh, yeah, you're 10 over, Mike. 10 over. W6QUI. Whatever that heading is in, write it down.
I know where to point. It's the same one I use on 1296 for you. 70 degrees or anything in that neighborhood. So maybe I can hear Eric in this direction. Eric, try it, KM6EIV. Go ahead. Not quite readable, Ron, but I can hear him. I could get a check-in from him, but that's all I could get. Go ahead, Ron.
KN6EIV, W6BBS, over.
Okay, well, that's weird. Yeah, you're coming in super good at the moment, and Eric's hearing you just fine. Over.
Yeah, well, I'm running, 1,200 watts or so. Frank wants to say hello to both of you. Go ahead, Frank. We called you in earlier, but you must have been outside for a second. Go ahead, Frank.
KN6EIV, W6BBS. How copy, Eric? Yeah, did you move your antenna? He must have moved his antenna. He was booming in here a minute ago, and I was just going to give him a signal report. W6BBS, back to net.
Okay, here's your fine now. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, there you are. K6EIV, W6BBS, yeah, Whiskey 6 Bravo, Bravo Sierra, DMO7. And, yeah, you are S9 up here, solid S9, beautiful signal, over. All right, very good, very good. Well, I'm not running any power tonight. I'm just running whatever the radio's putting out. So I didn't even think to turn the amp on. Hang on a second here. Let's see. Give me 1 second. There, let's try that. That should be a little bit better, over. Yeah, okay, very good. Well, that's what 1200 watts will do for you, over. Yeah, okay, very good. Well, good evening to you, Eric. I knew you were struggling to get through the mic and whatnot. I just want to let you know, up here in Corsica, just about 12 miles north of him, you're just blasting away, no problem, over. Whiskey 6, Baker, Sugar. Whiskey 6, Bravo, Sierra. Big, bodacious station, over. Yeah, his name is Frank, if you've forgotten Frank. Okay, very good. I think we got her done there, Mike. I think it was a good contact. KM6 or K6NYC, W6BBS, back to net.
Okay, I've signed and I'm already over to Monterey already. But you can tell Eric and I swung the antenna from 30 degrees all the way around through them, and there was no spot that I can hear him very, very well, not even readable. He's just there everywhere when I'm pointing toward the Sierras, but never good enough to get anything from him. So he needs more power for me to hear him with the moon bounce array here behind the hill. All right, might pass that on right now, Frank, over.
We got another check-in over here, Frank.
Yeah, okay, very good. First of all, did you copy that? Eric Mike was saying that he moved his antenna way back and forth and got bits and pieces, but never a good copy on you. And go ahead with the check-in, over.
Oh, that was Ron. Wasn't that you, Ron? Who is the one that made the voice transmission just before Frank, over?
Mike, I was trying to take a check-in and you're covering him up. All right, Stacy, come with your check-in again, please. Roger, I will relay it in. Mike, we got Kilo, Bravo 6, Whiskey, Romeo, Whiskey, Bozo number 1055, checking in, over.
1052.
52, that's, who's correcting that? Is that you, Ron?
It's Bill, 1052.
Who is this talking, please? Who said 1052? Who's talking, please?
Everybody's doubling.
Who is talking, please?
Ron.
W.
You must be listening to the local guys. I thought that was Ron. Okay. I'm pointed toward Monterey, but I'm copying you fine, Ron. Thank you for that, and we've got Bill in there in good shape. KB6WRWK6MYC. Thanks, Frank. That was Ron that I kept standing by for. I could hear Ron, and apparently I couldn't hear WRW, but Ron was talking, and that's what I was trying to get to identify. It's just a voice, and he's not very strong enough to recognize his voice characteristic, but I could hear his words. I was trying to find out who he was talking about.
We finally got everybody checked in. Thank you.
Now give me your call. Is that you, Ron?
That'd be me. I did have a question. Was anybody on 1296 last night? Over?
Yeah, they called and called and called and called and got nothing.
Well, I listened from 7:30 to 8 o'clock and never heard a soul.
Now, Bill was supposedly calling you. He told me I could hear him calling you.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah, something wrong. I was copying Bill, so maybe you had a problem. You didn't have a feed line hooked up or something.
Actually, I never unhook it.
But they were there. AJ and Bill both were there.
Okay, well, I'll check things out just to make sure it's working. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, they're usually 30, 40 over 9 for you, so it has to be a broken feed line or something, over.
Yeah, I will check it out. I will check it out before next Tuesday, over.
Yeah, right. We were kind of disappointed that you weren't there. We had a banner check-in day. I had 25 check-ins. You would have been 26, over.
Oh, my God, that's amazing. Okay, I'll verify it's working.
Anyway, I'm pointed toward Monterey now. We're copying you on different bounce paths here. I'm pointed at 265 degrees right now. 7-3, Ron. Thanks. W6QUI, K6MYC, Bozo Net.
Okay, thanks, Mike. W6QUI clear.
K6USY 1079.
Okay, KB6USY.
Yeah, and Mike, just wanted to let you know we took that suggestion, and there's now a clicking clock on the stream so people can see how far behind they are. K6USY.
There is a clock on there. You said there's no way to get a clock on.
I did not say that last night.
Well, what you just said a minute ago, I just didn't understand what you said. You do have a clock, or you do not have a clock?
I do. I added a clock in the corner, and it's sitting there counting away.
Okay, you're just kind of weak here, and I just didn't get that was a confirmation. Very good. So we've got a clock on the stream now, guys, so you can see what the delay is. K6MYC. Thank you, Aaron.
No problem, K6USY.
Yeah, WB6JNP. We also have you, Dane. Good evening. How are you doing? Normal stuff, okay. Say hi to Dan if you hear him. DM07, we got you. Thanks, Dane. Okay, now I'm looking at Monterey, looking for WA6LIE and KW6S, either one. WA6LIE, are you there, Scott? How about AW6S, Kilo Whiskey 6 Sugar, over. Okay, I can't read my thing here. Can't tell what direction. I'm pointed at 295. No wonder. I thought there was something wrong with there. Oh, no, I wasn't. Boy, I can't read anymore. I'm having trouble with the 5. It looks like a 9. Come on. There we go. That should be closer to you there. Anyway, good signal. Did you hear anything from Scott? Okay, was there another station that wanted to check in? Go ahead. Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie in the Bozo Net, over. How about Lee? You're not hearing him now? Who is it? I don't hear a peep from Scott. Is he done talking, Tom? I can't hear him. Okay, no, I could tell. One time I thought I heard a trace of a signal when you said he was in there. And then I started moving the antenna and never heard him again. Whatever direction he's using, it ain't working. I'm pointed at you. Yeah, well, he's probably looking right through you toward the Bay Area, isn't he? Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, hang on just a second, guys. QRX. To let a cat out here. Okay, sorry about that. Well, yeah, good to hear you, Tom. We did get you checked in last night. I got back to you, but by the time I got back, you were gone. But I heard you check in when I was pointed clear up to Sacramento when I heard you, and you may not have heard my response. Over. Probably was. Well, we had a very busy net last night. It went on and on and on. I had 25 check-ins, so it was a pretty good night. And we even missed some regulars. But it was a terrible night propagation-wise. It was horrible propagation-wise, but we got a lot of people, a lot of activity, and I copied everybody except one station. I never did hear John up there, KR6MR. But he was there. He was calling, and apparently he heard about 1/3 of a minute from me, and that was it. So we don't have very good propagation to him until he gets his antennas up on the new tower. Okay, let's see. I'll let you go, Tom. We'll move into the Bay Area. We're running a little late, and everybody here has moved over to 10 meters, and they'll probably be coming back after a bit. Anybody want to say hello to Tom before we slide up? I didn't hear Lee in here. Let's see, where is Lee? KB6LEE, are you here, Lee? Is he here, Tom? Okay, have him make a long transmission. I may have to search for him. He had a good signal the other day with the whole loop. I heard somebody come back. Have him give me a long call, would you? Weird. He was like a ton of bricks in here the other night. Maybe he's not on this little hill that he was on the other night. Over. No, it's not working where it is now. Boy, I can't find him at all. We'll get his Bozo number, and I think that's, I forgot his name. Who is that, Steve? $10.80, okay. Thank you. Ask him if he's copying me, would you, Tom? Yeah, well, see, I'm running 1,200 watts, so that's why. I can tell he's in there, but it's not readable. Frank, are you hearing him there in Monterey?
Well, give me a second here and get turned around. I was doing something. Have him give me a call again, over.
Did you copy that, Tom? Have him call again. Frank's going to look for it. And Rob, too.
Roger. I copy about 50% of it, maybe 75%. You're right down in the noise. But I sit up on top of a ridge with an open view in your direction. So you're S0 and a readability of about 3 to 4. Over. Yeah, I didn't catch a question at the last. I did copy the 5-3. My call is Whiskey 6, Bravo, Sierra. Whiskey 6, Baker, Sugar. The name is Frank, Fox, Romeo, Alpha, November, Kilo. I'm located about 12 miles north of Net Control up in Coarse Gold, California at an elevation of 2,450 feet. And I'm running about 1,200 watts through a 13-element antenna pointed in your direction. Over. Yeah, I know he turned it over to me, Tom. I've just lost him. I can't hear him anymore. Over. Yeah, it's not working where it is, Tom. I've listened a lot, and I can hear him in there. He's bouncing around in the hills. I can hear his residual hollow backscatter, but it's not readable in any direction. So he was a ton of bricks in here on the car when he was at about 110 feet above the harbor there. But boy, whatever he's done now is not working. Either that or the feed line's no good. Let's hope so, because it doesn't seem to be working, and he was just gangbusters in here with the whole loop from the mobile. Over. Well, there must be a knife edge issue here. He may be just giving me the wrong knife edge, and he should be stronger for Frank. Frank's up another 1,200 feet above me here. So Frank's not doing much better than I am. Over. Apparently it does there. So maybe he can, based on where he was before, maybe he can make another change to get it closer to that spot or that height or something. All right, Tom, thanks for the help. Appreciate it. W6TPB, thank you, Steve. 73s, K6MYC going into the Bay Area. Okay, we're in the Bay Area now.
I was already there, actually. Bozo Net. Check-ins, please. Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie, Bay Area. I heard one. I thought it was KW7 Charlie Alpha, but boy, that's a guess. You're very weak. Try it again. Try it again. K6MYC. Go ahead. Is there anybody in the Bay Area that can copy that station, please? Over.
That was, I think it's KE6QR.
Oh, well, I'm not pointed at him. Okay. That's probably why I can't hear him. Go ahead, Ed, check, get you in here and then see who else is there. I didn't get any response in the Bay Area proper, over. Go ahead, Ed. That told me it was KE6QR, whoever that was. I thought it was Ed, but maybe it wasn't. Go ahead, that station. You're plenty loud here. Go ahead and identify, please.
It's Frank, W6BBS, and he is there. Hey, Ed, he's just not pointed up your way just yet. He hasn't come that far yet. Give it a few minutes, and we'll be pointed your way, over.
I'm not missing it. I'm pointing at it, but it's different condition tonight. Well, I don't know. Just give me some chatter and I'll see what's going on here. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm back to where I started. No, it's just we have a little fade going. That's all. I'm pointed right where I should be, over. When I was pointed at Tom on the last few transmissions, I was pointed right where I am now, because I had already gone to the Bay Area, because I can hear Tom, and I was already into the Bay Area at 285. So I'm at 285 right now. You're normally best at 287, but you're peaking at about 285, which is, not enough difference to talk about, over. Well, this is the moonbound array. It's pretty sharp, particularly when I'm getting reflections. And you're weak and fluttery tonight, so we got totally different conditions than we had on Sunday, over. I'm not seeing any difference between you vertical or horizontal. Give me some more chatter. Me some more chatter, Kim. Well, all I did was flip to vertical and horizontal, and there's about 6 dB difference. It's slightly better, so the path is all screwed up here. Normally you'd be 15 or 20 dB down vertical, but it's almost the same. I'm horizontal. I'll go back to here we go. Vertical, 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 vertical. Horizontal, horizontal, horizontal. Well, it's varying though. Now you're fluttering down to almost nothing here, over. Yes, I don't know what the hell to do. Okay. Well, I've only heard one station near it so far in the Bay Area, and I've already got KE6QR. Let me get him written in here. Who is it? Oh, KT2G, gotcha. Hang on a second, Mark. I got my log screwed up here. Give me your Bozo number, Mark. (863). Okay, KT2G. Now I'm going to try and peek on you because you're up high enough. You shouldn't have any bounces here. So let me see if I can get a peek on your signal. Take a transmission, and we'll see if we can optimize on you here. I know you're not as strong here as you are on 1296, but still should be pretty good for peaking. You're running a whole loop or something on this band? KT2G, this should be a lot better. Well, the path has changed again tonight. It's totally different than it was the other night. Now I'm coming at 278. Normally I don't get the Bay Area very well until I get into the 80s, but tonight you're peaking at 278, and it's clearly a peak here. So who knows? And I did see a big difference when I went vertical. Here's vertical for you. Vertical, 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 vertical. Horizontal, 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 over. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what it should do, and I guess that's because you and I have a pretty clean path. The path to Fremont, where Jim is there, W6PQL, is a sort of a bounce path. He's behind the hills, and it doesn't make as much difference, although it was a couple of 3S units, he said. Okay, anyway, we're getting it working here. I'll just have to poke around. Okay, anyway, thanks very much for checking in here, Mark. Anything on your side to report before we see if anybody else is in there? Wonderful. Well, they'll be sure and send them down a packet or some money, depending on what they want. Sometimes $10 they used to ask for envelopes. That like the envelope that you've got your cards in. They used to have you buy those and send those down, but I think it's easier just to send them about $10, and then they got envelopes to burn over. Okay, good deal. Well, fine on the cards. So are they HF cards, or are they from the VHF bands here? Over. Well, you're going to work it out for you. You're going to have to answer those guys. Send them all cards. That's going to cost you $50 or $60 and just postage, maybe more if they're out of the country. That's a good deal. They didn't used to have that, so that's wonderful. That'll save everybody a lot of postage. Then that's good. Okay, very good, Mark. Thanks, and I'm glad that you're getting cards from all kinds of places and all kinds of call signs. Somebody's got their act together. I haven't gotten anything from the Bureau for quite a while, but I'm not working any rare DX either. It's people I'm working are pretty much the same people all the time. I've got a few cards, but nothing major. All right, let's see. QRZ, the Bay Area, K6MYC. I heard somebody come in underneath you, but I couldn't copy him. Who was that? Oh, N1PPP, way off axis here, but we hear you, Dave. Good to hear you. And is Kent in there with you? You didn't hear me. Anyway, who else do we have in the Bay Area? K6MYC Bozo Net. Joe 7. Hi, Stan. AB6SR, K6MYC. Good evening. Go ahead, Stan. Yeah, I didn't get that. Somebody received a lesser charge. What was that? Absolutely. Well, it's not stealing. It's just paying. It's shopping without. What do they call it? There's a clever. Somebody came up with a clever one. shopping without paying or something. It's even cleverer than that. But yeah, shopping with. Darn it! No, I can't remember. It was a real clever statement about something they say on CNN. Anyway, I know I didn't, well, somebody repeated it because it was clever, a clever little statement. Anyway, never mind, and okay, well, I don't know if the judge responded to that. Maybe the judge would have to go to Target and find out if it was really on sale or not. I pulled Target out of my head. I didn't know where it was. Thanks. Target's been getting ripped off something fierce. Good. Who? Tom from Santa Cruz. Okay, good. Let's see who else we've got. We're missing quite a few in there. I'm pointing at 281 right now. I moved up for you, and you did come up a little bit. So I'm creeping up into the Bay Area, but I'm still about 4 or 5 degrees short of where I should be or where it normally is. Bay Area Bozo Net, K6MYC. Where is everybody? Okay. Well, I'll have to get you to make another transmission, and I'll bet you're south of the normal heading here by a long way, so let's see what happens. Go ahead. What's the name of the program you're using to help your right seat? Yeah, you're giving it to me not phonetically, and all I'm hearing is T-T-T-T-T, T-T-T or T-P-T or something. What? Do it phonetically. Yeah, well, that's good. I know. I struggled way back in the early days when we first got our first computers. And I said, "Oh, look at this BASIC. I can write in BASIC." And I wrote a real crude program. That was the last of it. I couldn't make the thing loop. It was supposed to loop and do one element at a time, and it did one element, but I couldn't make it go back and give me the second and the third and the fourth element on a log periodic. And Myrna, my wife, said, "Let me just go get the kid up the street." And she gets on the phone, and the little kid comes to the door and says, "Hi, Mr. Stoll." He was 10 years old. He comes into the computer, looks at my code, types about 3 letters, and said, "There you go, that should work. Bye." I felt like a boob. Okay. Well, I'm at 265, so it's way off, and it's not the EME array. It's just that the path is screwed up. As the EME array just doesn't get off. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to track the moon very well. So I'm down at 265. That's where you're peaking, of all things. That's why Jim said I was stronger when I was talking to... actually, 265 is where I normally point for Monterey. And then I go to 272 to 273 for Santa Cruz, and then to 281 and on up for the Bay Area. So you can see it's just all screwed up tonight. All right, Jim, WB6JNN, go ahead. More chatter, or you didn't give me enough to get a peek on you. Yeah, well, there's no peak, but the best I got you is down here at 263, which is totally screwed up, so who knows. Anyway, thanks for checking in, Jim. I appreciate it. It's no wonder I'm not hearing anybody tonight. I'm on these oblique paths. I'm 15 degrees off of where the normal heading would be for you, over. Now I get another peak on you at 278, so I'm back to 278 again. Who knows? Thanks, Jim. Anybody else before we go to wherever I'm going to point for Martinez and that area? K6MYC. Okay, Whiskey Bravo 6, and then you faded out on me. Give it to me again. Don't have your call. I didn't get much of that. You're too weak. I know it's Jeff. I heard you say Jeff, and I can't remember the rest of the call. It's WB6 something. Go ahead again and your Bozo number, over. Okay. Got it now, Jeff. WB6WNI 1090 K6MYC. Boy, it's just brutally weak tonight. You were just fine the other day, and I cannot find a peak. The path is just all screwed up here. Nothing wrong on this end. It's just a totally different path tonight than we had on Sunday. Anyway, thanks for checking in and your patience with me finding you there. Are you vertical or horizontal? You're much stronger horizontal. I can barely hear you vertical, over. Okay, because you're stronger horizontal. I'm telling you, the bands are really screwed up tonight. You're much stronger. I can't read you vertical. I can hear you in there, but I don't get anything. When I go horizontal, you become almost Q5. So there you go. Go figure. Okay, you can see why I'm screwed up tonight. Nothing's working like it's supposed to work. The laws of nature are not working tonight. Thanks, Jeff. WB6WNI K6MYC. Anybody else before I go to Martinez? And one PPP. I called you in earlier. Is Kent there as well, over? Down in the noise again. I lost the last two calls. Stay with me. I'm going to try and peek on you. Keep talking to me. Keep talking. I'm going to peek on you. I'm way off of you by 25 or 30 degrees. Keep talking, over. He wants you to keep talking. K6OSX and the N1PPP. And now give me the other calls again. I'm pointed now at you, Dave. Go ahead. Well, I need the calls phonetically because it's too weak to get them right. Who's the LBP and then was it 10? What was the Bozo number? You got to go slower because I'm having real difficulty copying you. Give it to me phonetically. K6LBT or something. Lima Bravo Tango. I'm just trying to make sense of what you just told me. A6 Lima Bravo Romeo, is that right? Okay. Well, you're giving me all kinds of letters, and I guess his name is JR, but I was trying to get that into the call sign. You see what you're doing? When it's weak, I couldn't get it. I don't need his name. I need his Bozo number, over. Okay, 1101. Okay, got it. K6LBP, Lima Bravo Papa. Okay, got that. And we didn't get a clear cut on the one ending in Delta X-ray. Do you have a Bozo number for him? Okay, got it. 1033. Good signals. But I'm not pointing anywhere near right. The band is all screwed up tonight. I'm pointing all funny directions to get peaks on people. So you got to bear with me. The last few transmissions, you're roaring in here, but I'm not pointing anywhere near close to where I should be. Dennis normally does. Dennis left before he got the relay in. He got chastised the other day for trying to break in before I got to him, and when somebody on frequency said, please wait your turn, and that pissed Dennis off, and he left without checking you guys in, over? Anyway, I'm sorry about that. I think I got your check-ins in there anyway through K6 Whiskey India Sugar. I think he picked it all up and clarified it for me, over. Roger. Well, the only band, let's see, are you trying to check in on 6 meters these days? Yeah, I've got an inverter that's 6/10 of a mile from me. It's line of sight. It's hilltop to hilltop, but there's a friend or a neighbor with an inverter that's very noisy. And we pinpointed him. I have to go over there and put some ferrite on his lines. We just haven't had a chance to do that yet. But yeah, they can be a long ways away if you're line of sight like I am. I couldn't believe when I heard from PG&E, they told me where this guy was, and I said, that's impossible. He's down in the canyon. So I went down to his address, and then he met me at the driveway, and then we drove up for a quarter of a mile, and then next thing I know, we're on top of a hill, and I looked over, and there's my antennas, line of sight, over. I hear you. Anyway, we keep trying. I guess you guys have not. You're not doing 222 anymore. Okay, well, now 222's been very good. I've got the new antenna up. I'll make a point of making long calls in your direction, but it's very directional. I have to point right at you, over. Usually in your direction is about 8 o'clock, just a little bit before 8 o'clock on 222, over. Alrighty, thanks, Dave. 73s, give my best to Kent and the others over there, including Dennis. Hi. 73. Have a good Christmas if somehow we missed you. Thank you, 73. Okay. Let's see, I got to be close to M6RO and W6SSW. Are you guys in there?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, go ahead, Ken.
86OIC and 6RO 835. Nothing really new to report. Sorry I missed 1296 last night. We had our monthly NCCC Zoom meeting, and I couldn't pull away from it in time. But I was here in spirit. Go ahead.
I knew what you were doing because I think it was Steve that reminded me that you were probably checking in on the Northern California DX thing. And I said, yeah, he's probably zooming in, and he zoomed out on us. Anyway, conditions were terrible, but we're sorry we missed you. We had a record banner check-in list. I had 25 check-ins on 1296, over.
Oh, that's really good. But I got here so late, I didn't hear any activity, so, can't be here all the time.
Yeah, okay, well, I understand. I know how those things go. And I might have even checked you in. Because of that, I'll have to go look at the sheet again. I'm pretty sure I checked you in because I knew you were on a Zoom meeting and couldn't make it. But you're really quite regular and consistent when you can get here. It's either equipment failure or you got a Zoom meeting or you're here, over.
Yeah, right. Well, I was here in spirit.
Yes, you were. Okay, Steve, are you here? Okay, gotcha. And thanks for your help the other night. As you heard me say, we had a banner night in terms of quantity. I still missed a couple of regulars. We did not get WA6OIB and 2 or 3 others, so we could have had almost 30 before I was done, but some of the regulars didn't show up, over. Yeah, on 1296, the Bay Area can usually beat course gold. There's very few people in course gold on 1296. Just Frank, W6BBS is the only one that's up in course gold that has 1296 that I remember. Oh, Rob has it. Of course, he's in course gold, but I don't think of Rob and Beak as right in course gold, but he is legally in there. So we have two on 1296. So yeah, the Bay Area usually kicks our ass on 1296, over. It seems to be at 2 meters and sometimes 222 is a little thin, although I'm way thin up here. It's 2 meters where we usually can outdo them. We got seven or more in just in the course gold area too, so it's easy to get quite a pile. Anyway, good evening to you. I'm going to go back. I missed Bay Area. I missed the Martinez guy, so let me go back and get Russ and his buddy Gary, and then we'll head for Sacramento, all backwards. The bends are really strange tonight. I'm pointed. Well, right now, believe it or not, I'm pointed right at you. This is the normal heading for you. So you guys are where you should be, and everybody else is off 10, 15, 20 degrees, Steve, over. Yeah, I'm just moving the antenna 270, 285, 293. This is for the guys in Martinez. Russ, are you copying? Well, now I got it on you, but I'm pointed toward the Bay Area now. Sort of the south end of the Bay Area, and that's where normally you're not there at all, but here you are. And I'll get Gary in there. Gary tried to check in earlier, but we just couldn't get him written in. Yeah, we hear you, Gary. It's about readability 3, but I could probably find a peak on you somewhere. The bands are just all tangled up tonight in totally different directions, so the moon bounce array is making it difficult tonight because it's very directional, and when I point where you should be, you ain't. And when I'm pointing there and you ain't, it's really you ain't. Over. Could you give a quick repeat on that, Russ? I couldn't get it. I didn't get what he said. Okay, all that for that. Okay, thanks, Gary. Yeah, it's just you came up a little bit on that one, but when I'm not pointed right or wherever the path is, it's not favoring us tonight. It's 1296 was even worse last night, but not directionally. It was just poor propagation. I was pointing right, and everything was right for that, but signals were just pukey weak. Anyway, thanks, guys, for being there. Russ, good to hear you. We'll look for you, of course, tomorrow night. K6ERF, K6MYC.
Check out.
Okay, good night, Frank. See you in the morning.
See you in the morning, W6BBS.
It's all screwed up. I'm pointing at 286 right now. Oh, I was at 296. This is more in your direction where I was earlier. Yeah, who knows? Okay, I got everybody anyway, so I'm going to go on up to Sacramento and point toward the moon, and I'll get them. Okay, Sacramento. I don't know who we're going to hear and where we have to point to get you, but give me some long calls. K6MYC Bozo Net, Sacramento. $7.56. Gotcha. Go ahead. I hear you, Darren. Go ahead. Let me go back out down here to 310 where you normally are. That's 312. That should be better. Yeah, go figure. It's all screwed up tonight. Anyway, we hear you, and I guess you're making plans, you and Bill, for some antenna changes and stuff. So that's good. Get that thing going on 220. Yeah, well, keep your eye out for a 589, then you'll have it covered. Yeah, the new ones are now close to 40K, over. Okay, well, you keep an eye on QTH.com. That seems to be where the towers show up the most. But, yeah, anything, you want something between 45 and 100, eh? You know, there's LM470s and there's some 54s that are pretty sturdy. They're 70-footers that they don't put the top section in, and they're 54s, so those show up. But yeah, I've got 4 589s here, and they hold up a lot of stuff, over. Okay. Well, the last 589 I bought, I paid $5,000 for. It was in Colorado, and it cost me another $750 to get it here, but that was a pretty good price, I thought. Yeah, well, I had them on a one-way trucker, so it didn't have its normal freight overhead on it. Anyway, good enough. Let's see, Bill, are you in here, KO6KD? Okay, and we had a pretty good session this morning. Went on and on. Frank's feeling better. They can't find anything wrong. He just takes pain pills, and it seems to be going away a little bit, so that's good. It's muscles and his old arthritis injuries in the back there, and they just acted up. He must have strained a muscle, and it triggered it. Anyway, it seems to be better. He's going to be down here tomorrow, and we can get back in our normal routine here. Anyway, good to hear you. We'll see you in the morning. Frank's got his 20-meter beam up on the hill, and so he's anxious to try and check in with Billy on Friday morning. No, it's Friday morning we're going to try for Billy, over.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll try Friday morning then. I just was wondering, did you stick around or did you listen to us in the background when Greg and I stayed out there till about 10:30 this morning? Did you hear any of the other carriers on? We just kept going on and on and on.
Well, who's Grady? Oh, no, I didn't hear that. Tree for now, and we'll see you in the morning on 40. KO6KD, K6MYC, clear, and looking for John, KR6MR. not make it a long enough transmission. The band is all screwed up tonight, and I have to search for you. Normally I get you at 3:35. Tonight you're at 3:21. Over. Okay, which one are you looking for? Okay, yeah, I think the one you want used to be called a 440 ATV or 435 ATV or something. Over. No, that's not what I said. I said it used to be called 440 ATV 21, and they changed it because everybody thought it wouldn't work on any other band and for anything except ATV. So it's really a 6 wavelength, so that we changed the name. Over. I just got back on you at the end there. No, yeah, we did change the number. So you're looking for the right thing, but the guy that owns it may think it's a 440 ATV. Over. Fiberglass. Well, you don't want to put the 2 antennas horizontally polarized on a metal crossboom. And now you're 40 over, so the band's just all over the place. I dig you out of the noise, and then all of a sudden it just comes way up. So the band is terribly disturbed tonight. By the way, I didn't hear you, but I got you checked in last night on 432 because Paul said you were there, and I heard from several people that you were calling, but I never heard a peep. Over. Yeah. Well, you can post it that way. Somebody will tell me. You can also, depending on how you post it or how you state it, tell Mike to check me in. I'm here. I will check you in if you're there. It's even if I can't hear you, because it's not a matter of me hearing you. I check people in if I know they're active and they're trying to check in. They're on the band. Over. Okay, and the other thing that we changed now, the live stream tonight should have the clock on there so you can see the GMT time and see the delay. Over. Oh, you're watching on the cell phone. Yeah, it might be too small to see on a cell phone. I did not, yeah. I got Darren, but I haven't heard Russ. KW6T, go ahead. KW6T, where are you, Russ? I got 428. Good evening, Fred. Take one. Roger. Well, the Geminids will peak probably tomorrow and Friday. Tomorrow and Friday, where the Geminids will be there at 14th. Yeah, the 14th, I guess. That's tomorrow. They should be in there tomorrow morning, and they said something in the neighborhood of 107 per hour. Over.
Yeah, Roger, Roger, Mike. I heard that there's something in the clouds here, so give it a shot tonight. Over.
Yeah, well, you never know. They're out there. They're just not in the profusion, and maybe not coming at the right angle for you tonight. But yeah, I would get on 144-200 and make noise east and northeast. Over.
Yeah, I tried that last night. We'll try it again tonight. Thank you, Mike. Over.
Roger. Listen, is Russ in there? I always hear Russ. He's just not there. He probably gave up. I wanted to tell him that we got him on 1296 last night, but he was brutally weak, so something's not right. Over.
Yeah, let me check. And by the way, I came in last night at about 9, and it was too late, Mike, on 1296. KW6T, Mike's looking for you. You here? Still left, over?
Well, maybe he had something else to do. I just wanted to report to him. So if you hear him, you can tell him that I heard him, but he's never got up to readable. I could tell it was him because I called him, and he confirmed that I heard the Rogers or QSL or something, but I didn't even get a full call from him. But I got enough to know that he was in there. But it doesn't sound right. He must have hooked it up to a bad piece of feed line or something, because he was a lot stronger previous times when he has checked in. Over.
Yeah, Roger that. You just came up from S2 to S9, Mike. Over.
It's just all over the place. I haven't touched a thing.
Yeah, odd conditions tonight.
Yeah, really, really weird. It's all weird in different directions and all kinds of things. I was copying the Tascadero towards 70 degrees. They're normally at 211. Go figure.
Roger that. We'll listen for Redding too in case you don't hear it.
Yeah, I should go for Redding, but I don't know where to point. I'm going to have to try right up the valley. We'll see what happens. I'll go right up the valley here. Well, I'm pretty close. 231, 232, 233. That's pretty close for Redding. So let's try for Redding right now. Redding, KD6 Sugar Whiskey and KO6HS on a very fouled up band, K6MYC. Go ahead, Rich. Yeah, Roger, we got you. It's not real strong, but we've got you in there, so good deal. I have to admit, I did not try for you last night on 6, or 2 nights ago on 6 meters. I was so screwed up on 6, back and forth, by the time I got done. It was so late, and I hadn't had dinner. It was damn near 10 o'clock. And I finally just gave up, so I did not call you. I don't know whether you got your radio back or not. Over. Wow, same signal strength, vertical and horizontal, and not readable. No copy. I could hear you in there. Let's see if Jerry's there. KO6HS. Let's see if I can get enough signal to recognize your voice, Jerry. KO6HS, K6MYC. Okay, thank you. I thought I could hear him, but I couldn't recognize his voice. Thank you, Fred. You might tell him that we're hearing him, but not readable.
Okay. Yeah, KO6HS, nice to meet you, but just not quite readable. Over. You're picking up. You doesn't like we had the same problem with you back in that.
Yeah, they're both not readable tonight. I could hear, well, when Rick first came in, he was fine. Rich was fine on the first transmission, and then he went down in the noise. So, man, it's just not favoring us. Did you hear whether Rich was on 6 meters or not on Monday?
No, I didn't hear that. Rich, were you on 6 meters on Monday? Or...
Roger, we hear you, Richard. Stand by.
Okay, Roger. Yeah, here's the CW out in Nevada. So, yeah, he did not have his rig on Monday night. Rich just got his rig yesterday.
Well, I made a wild-ass guess that was the case, and I justified not calling him because of that. So that's good. I didn't call him either. Thank you, Rich. We'll see you next week on 6. Hi. 73's, guys, and thanks for the help, Fred, and I'll look for you on 1296 next week. K1YQP in the group, K6MYC. Anybody else before I go to Nevada? I don't hear anybody else, Fred, so I'm going to go up and get Nevada. Okay, here we are to Nevada. KD6BQ, go ahead, Richard.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. K6NYC, KD6BQ, number 249. Sorry to interrupt. I heard you chatting back and forth, and I didn't know if you were waiting to hear from us this way or what, so I thought I'd give you a quick call. Anyway, air signal tonight, not super strong, but 2.5 over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, we worked on sideband at the beginning of the net, remember?
Yeah, I remember that. I usually hang around to the end to catch you when you come up here. I hope Larry's here. I've been calling him, but he might be over.
Okay, well, I'll call N7WT and also KE7UQL. Daniel, are you here, K6MYC Bozo Net? Yeah, got you, Daniel. Good signal, too. Quite strong and quite steady. Good to hear you, and hopefully one of these days we'll start to hear you on 222 and 432 and 1296 again, over. Okay, well, you better get going. It isn't that far away now. Oh, very good. Well, that was on a very small system. It's not being heard by my station yet. That's going to be occurring probably in a week. Maybe next week will be coming from my station here on all bands except for 1296. Over. Yeah, good. And the live stream should have the GMT time on it tonight. If you can see it big enough, you can see what the delay is tonight. I think it's down pretty good to about 5 or 6 seconds. Over. Okay. We'll see you Sunday night. We'll see you Sunday night there, Daniel. And Richard, back to you. I didn't hear Larry. KWN7 Whiskey Tango, Larry. And I don't hear Larry. I did work him last night on 1296, so that was a bonus. KD6BQ, K6MIC for your final, Richard, over. Why you sounded a little hollow there. I hope they didn't take too many gray cells out, over. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, they're poking up above those cavities just over your head, and if they poke too hard, they break the bone on the upper side. They have to break into it from the bottom side, so they do have to break the bone to get in there, I think. And but they can go too far, and then you're going to be in a lobotomy stage. Over. Yeah, well, as long as they leak the bad side of your brain, the one that wants to rob stores and stuff, they could leak that.
Yeah, get rid of that part. Keep the part that works ham radios.
There you go. That's horrible. That's just horrible. Anyway, I'm glad to hear you got that covered, and you'll be getting over that. I had that done many years ago when I was in high school, so like 70 years ago. Holy cow! I had a real terrible sinus infection, and I could not get rid of it. Had both ears plugged, and it was awful. Anyway, they finally punched through the bone and flushed me out, and I've never had a problem since. So that worked. Anyway, good evening to you, Richard, and we'll look forward to you hearing you on your Smasher 5-watt station tomorrow on 432. Good night for now. KD6BQ, K6MYC, 70 trees to you as well, Daniel. 7-3.
7-3, Mike. Thanks a lot. And we'll look for you with our 5 watts tomorrow, see if we can make it. K6MYC, KD6BQ, 7-3.
And you got to keep an eye out on the used market for a 110-watt KLM or M squared, Mirage amp. They take in that 5 watts and it'll put about 90 out. Over.
Yeah, I'm looking for something like that. By the way, what's the story with the advanced receiver research? You know, they have those mass-mounted preamps, but I looked on the website and it says NA now with the price, so I guess maybe they don't make them anymore. The other stuff still has price, you know, and they still need it over.
Who's the other one? Who's the other one you said? I know about ARR, yes. They're not making them anymore. I think they still make the 2-meter one, but the 432 and up they don't make. And I think they're still repairing it, however. Anyway, keep an eye out for those on the used market. That's a good preamp, and they can be fixed. They can be fixed by other people, so it's not something terrible. Over. Don't we double with you? Yeah, the other one to look for is the SSB preamp. That's a good one also, and it'll handle the power. So the SSB and the ARR are both good. I'm using the ARR on 432. That's what I'm hearing you with. Over. Well, they're making the 2-meter one. I don't know what the deal is. I know Russ. I know Russ, who used to own the place and still does, but I think he's just kind of tapering down. And I just don't know the full story anymore. I talked to him here a while back, and we sent a 432 preamp in that was smoked. And he sent it back in a bag so it wouldn't leak any more smoke or bad odor, and he sent me a brand new one. He says, I don't repair them anymore, but here's the last one I got on the shelf. It's all yours. Over.
Okay, that probably answers my question on getting it. I figured if I could even get one without the stuff like that.
Yeah, well, you could drop him an email and see if he doesn't have the lower powered versions. Those are okay. I've got one and they work. You can't run very much power through them, but you could run your drive power through it anyway. And then the other thing to do is look for them on the used market. Look on QTH.com for the used preamps, or put the note out that you're looking for ARR mass mount preamps. They're black and blue. Over. 219, yeah, they'll work up there. They're broad. Yeah, well, I think you could, if nothing else, you could go in there and retune it. There isn't very much to retune, and I'm sure all the components are the same. You might have to open the coil slightly up, but I think it'll tune it. Yeah, if you put it on and it has gain, then you're probably off and running. Over.
Too bad I didn't get on the ARR mass-mounted wind tuner while they still were making them, but I guess I just got to thinking about it the other night when I heard you mention them, and that would be perfect for, 100 watts or so on 432.
Yeah, we make them for 2 meters, but we never got in. My guy Ken died before he got the rest of them going. He built a beautiful one that I have for 1296 with a relay and everything in it, but we didn't ever manufacture it. Anyway, actually, if you got a 220 one or a they make them for 220 also. You could probably modify it. I could mail you up the one that's fried, and you could look at and maybe steal the coils from it. It's just the board is burned up. So the board's no good, but all the components would probably be okay for as coils and stuff. So you could steal. They're all the same inside. They just put different. Coils and stuff like that in them. But you could convert a 2 meter one to 432 even. Over. I think he does. I would drop him an email and see what he does have and what he doesn't have. And then I would keep an eye out for any of them on any band on the used market. I use them on 220 also. It's a good preamp on 222. That's what I'm using there. Used it for years for moon bounce, and it's good. So that's a good one. I have a few, and I could send you up the one that's smoked. It's all here. It's all complete, except that it's burnt up to the point where it's not repairable because the board's burnt. But all the components are fine. Over. Oh, no, you're missing my point. You take a 2 meter one or a 220 or one that you have, any one that you can get a hold of, and you can convert it to the 432. They're all the same inside. They just put different frequency components in them. Over. Exactly. So that's why I say I'd send this one up to you, no charge. Just take it and make something out of it. Over. No, it's I got compensated. He gave me a free one for nothing, so I'm way ahead of the game already. This one's yours if you need it, so let me know. Give me an update, and that way we can keep the guys up to date. But I would keep an eye out. He's probably sold 1,000 of those things. I would just look on QTH.com and other places like that, and keep your eye open for ARR mass mount preamps. That's what I would do. Well, I've got one. We make our own, so I've got our own preamp up there. But my preamp and the AR drop into the same slot. I'm using one on 2 meters. You just have to put another relay around it to give it more isolation. It just needs another relay and then a separate line coming back. Over. But you can do it with TNC because it's all low power stuff that's on that side of it. You're only doing receive power. Yeah, it takes two relays if you want to go back up and down on the same feed line, but if you can do like I do on the Moonbound, so when I'm talking to you right now has a separate line that comes back, and I put the second relay, again, it could be a low power one, I put it at the back of the amplifier, so all it does is it switches the preamp to the transceiver. The transceiver's the common, and the transceiver either feeds the amplifier or in the receive mode picks up the relay contact coming back on a separate piece of coax from the preamp. It could be RG8X or anything like that coming back from the preamp. They got lots of gain. Over.
Well, that's a good idea. Run the big coax for the power and use some small stuff for receive on a different, come in on a different line.
And then you just need that small TMC relay on the back of the amp, and then you're off and running. Common to the transceiver, and normally open, normally closed gets the preamp line, and normally open, when you close the relay, that puts power from the transceiver into the amplifier. So it's a real simple hookup. Over. You could do that. Yeah, you got power. You can do that with one antenna. You can follow what LOL's doing. He's got two of my XP32s, and I've got. But I would say maybe look around for XP20s, 2M XP20s, a pair of those, 2M XP24s or 22s. That's what I have up. That's what I'm talking to you on right now. This is 4 2M XP22s. Over. You don't need to go circular for moonbounce, but they can be you can make them circular, but you're normally just running a relay up at in the same box with the preamp that just switches from vertical to horizontal. Over.
I got a certainly polarized antenna for 432 and one for 2 meters. I think they're 24 elements or something like that. Pretty big.
Yeah, not on 2 meters. 22 element was the biggest one. Watch this. This is horizontal, horizontal, vertical, 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 horizontal, horizontal, horizontal on the XP22s. Over. It's normally, it could be as much as 20 dB, but the paths are screwed up tonight. I'm seeing in some cases one guy was actually stronger. He was transmitting vertical out of the Bay Area, and he was stronger coming horizontal, so go figure. So it's not as dramatic tonight as it normally would be, but that's what I'm doing with the sequencer. We use our sequencer. We make a nice sequencer for this, and everything's done with the sequencer, and it's got the polarity switch on it. It's got a switch you can turn the preamp on and off with it and all that. So you might keep an eye out for one of our sequencers, and that'll take care of your sequencing business when you get serious there. Over. Yeah. Well, the sequencer keys the preamp. It keys the preamps to receive mode first, and the second thing you do is you key the amp on or get it ready. If there's a third thing, you've got 4 things you can sequence. And the relays, the last thing you do is, you close the relays on transmit. Once you close the receive off, and then you close the relays on transmit. Then you turn the amp on. Over.
Yeah, that sounds good, because right now with this amplifier, I need something to switch the bias on, and then another thing to switch the antenna relay. So I'm working on that. I've got a 2-channel optical isolator thing, but sequencer would be better. I'm looking around for one.
Yeah, look on the website for our 4-channel It has 4 different things that you sequence, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's 2 versions. We have a smaller, cheaper one, but you need the big one. It has its own power supply and everything in it for 28 volts for the relays and all that. Can't read the model number. It's S3 or something. S2 and S3 is the name of the sequencer, but you want the one that's the biggest one that has, and it has 4 LEDs that you can see them sequence. Every time I key it, I have the 4 lights that light up in a sequence over. Are real straightforward. Their power supplies are in them. You got 12 volts for the preamps and 28 volts for the relays, and you've got the polarity switch. You can switch to polarities, and it won't let you switch while you're transmitting. It locks you out, so you can't make a mistake. And then you can turn the preamp on and off to make sure the preamp's working and hear the noise come up and so on. So it's a really complete, wonderful box. With the sequencers, you will probably never blow a preamp. They're all expensive, buddy. Everybody's up now. Yeah. Anyway, keep an eye out for the ARRs, and if you need a 2-meter one, we still make preamps for 2 meters, and they're very good, and they have the same physical size on the connectors. We did that on purpose. We put the connectors, the distance apart is the same, and they're end connectors. They're the same on our preamp on 2 meters as it is on the ARRs. Over. Yeah. Well, once you start pointing up at the sky, though, that noise will go away to a degree. Most of it goes away. I think you have a 2M CP22, 22 elements, 11 in each plane on 2 meters, and then the 432 CP30, I think, is the other one. 15 elements in each plane on the 432 one.
Yeah, I think those are the ones I've got. I've got them sitting outside the door here on the ground. I've got them broken apart and ready to put them together. And just getting that agile rotator up on the pole. But one of these is up right now.
It can wait till March or April, that's for sure. Just start collecting stuff in the meantime, over. Your Q5 here, though, very strong still. Not very strong, but very readable. All right, 7373, we'll see you tomorrow night on 432. KD6BQ, K6MYC, 73. It did. Okay, sorry about that, Rob, if you're still in here. I don't know who's left. Who's left here?
KM6SRR.
Okay, and probably K6USY. You still here, Aaron?
Yes, sir, I'm still here.
Okay. How about you, Dave, VBG? Oh, he went in. It's too cold. Frank went in. Probably everybody else is gone. Okay. Anyway, I've got the excuse me. I think I told you I've got the Cat 5 here. I've got connectors for it. If you've got a tool that puts the cable, the connectors on, if you don't have, let me know, and Frank can bring his down and leave it here. Over.
Yeah, Mike, I think I have 2 of them.
Okay. So the Cat 5 is here, brand new on a roll. And connectors are here, and your antenna's here, and I guess the computer's probably going to be in. It was either in today or tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, and if it was, I should be able to go pick it up on Friday.
Yeah, so check with Lee tomorrow and see what the status is. Maybe call him in the afternoon, or he'll call you when it comes in. And I don't know what you guys have got set up there. But then at your convenience, I'm available all next week except Tuesday. I've got to go in for a blood draw, but even that could be changed if that's the only day you could come up. I could change that. It's not terribly imperative. Over.
Well, that's not a problem because I'm going to be over in Monterey Sunday night, Monday, and then into Tuesday. So the first part of the week I won't even be in town.
Okay, works out super.
But I'll probably check back in with you Tuesday night, and we'll figure out a time to get up there. So it all depends on, if I get the computer Friday, and then should be able to get it set up over the weekend before I leave town, and then we can figure out getting up there, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week.
Okay, and as I told you, broadband wireless was here. They moved the antenna. They got much better signal, so the speed should be consistent, and they also doubled it, or more than doubled the speed. Over.
Yeah, I heard that. So that's it's pretty funny that their dish was pointed at one of your trees or something. And but nice thing is you got a nice big roof, and they just found another spot for it.
Yeah, I don't know how they got it where it was in the first place, but it might be that the tree has grown.
Oh, they do tend to do that.
Yes, they do. These redwoods grow like weeds. All right, I'm out of here, guys. I haven't had dinner yet. I'm going to go get some. Now, supposedly brought something home for me, so I'm going to go see what he's got. And then I'll see you guys tomorrow night on 432. KM6SRR. K6USY, K6MYC, clear but listening.
Good night, Mike and Rob and Aaron and everybody else, WA6LOL and all.
Yeah, right, and you're off frequency just a little bit there, Dave. Let me see if I'm right. Maybe I'm not on.
No, you're good, Mike.
Yeah, I'm right on there. So, Dave, just a little low in frequency or low pitched. I don't know which direction that makes you tune.
Oh, okay, I moved it a little bit. Yeah, I don't have much of an ear for what's right on sideband here, but anyway, yeah, well, I got those 13s working okay. I'm just kind of learning all my mistakes, and yeah, I was just trying to get it to match up there. I can't do anything about the element length. I can't make them longer very easy. So I'm getting ready, learning all the mistakes first before I put up the 32s. So thanks for all your help, Mike. K6MYC, go eat WA6LOL.
Okay, very good, Dave. Yeah, no, it's worth the effort probably to go through it. I've been through it since 1965, so it's like falling off a log for me in terms of what you have to be aware of, but it's all new to you, so I understand. Not a problem. I have some modicum of tolerance and patience. Over.
Well, you've got the advantage, too, because you know a guy over there at M2.
Yeah, I do. He knew how to do this at one time.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing this stuff. So, and I like learning. So, I've built a lot of antennas. I built the 36 element Luke Yagi for 1.2, and also, but I've never really, done it right. I just did it, So, anyway, all right, Mike. We'll have a good dinner and everything, and I will talk with you guys. And that Yahoo or YouTube, is wonderful. That is so great. I can listen to that and hear everybody, and the delay time is down to the point where it's usable now. So, I can have that on in my rig, and it just sounds like a bunch of stuff going on, but at least it's not, 3 days later. So, yeah, that's really great. Aaron's doing a bang-up job there. So, and that clock is great on there, too. Yeah. K6MYC, WA6LO.
Yeah, good deal. He just put that on there today. Somebody suggested that, and he was able to implement that, so that was a good idea. All right, good night. Good night, Rob. Over to you for your final, and 73 to you, Aaron. Enjoy your weekend in the Monterey area. KM6SRR, K6MYC, and all clear listening out.
Good night, Mike. K6MYC, KM6SR, 73.
73. I have lots of more firewood if you need that small stuff. I just cut this pine tree down. I got pine starter sticks if you need any of those.
Yeah, I'm trying to stick with the oak there. It burns better and lasts longer, over.
Okay, but these are just for starting, getting the flame hot. Anyway, no worries.
Hey, Rob, K6USY DMO6.
Yes, sir, Mr. Aaron, K6USY, KM6SRR.
Yeah, I went up to Auberry today and went out on Auberry Road, and you guys got that location out there on Copper Avenue that looks really nice.
Yeah, that's on a 40-acre site. That's one of our bigger ones, I guess, there. The only little bit that's not part of the 40 acres that Tahachi guy has there right in the very corner there of Copper and Auberry. Over.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was kind of weird. It's like, oh, there's somebody still on the corner. Interesting. But yeah, it looked like you guys had a bunch of RV storage and all kinds of good stuff out there. That's kind of a good spot. Catch people can pick up their stuff and head up the hill.
Yep, that's what Daryl's always looking for. He's looking for those good locations there. Over.
Yeah, I'm still in amazement that they're building north of Copper. It's all that empty land up there, I'm sure, is going to disappear at some point, and Ken's going to be surrounded.
Yeah, I think he kind of already is. They got a Rite Aid kind of across the street, and a bunch of other houses. They right directly across the street. They got torn in streets and doing all the earthwork, I think, for more streets and houses. Over.
Yeah, I was noticing that they were building houses north of them. I was like, oh dear, man, it's just they're just gonna keep on growing.
That's why I came out this far out here. So probably take a few years, and I may be gone by then. Over.
Yeah, you wait long enough, they'll get there eventually. Yeah, and I'm on the edge of Fresno out here, and I'm waiting to see what's going to happen. I mean, there's I've seen the master plan for this area, and there's supposed to be like a new park and all kinds of stuff out here, but they're going to have to start annexing more land, and I'm sure developing and waiting for people to sell property, and there's a bunch of county properties west of here, and who knows how long that stuff's going to take to get absorbed.
Yep. I think the county and city have some kind of agreement, because I know what usually happens when you go to try to develop it. They say, well, the county here, we're not going to let you develop it here. You got to join the city, then you can develop it. Over.
Yep, well, that's because the city of Fresno shot themselves in the foot a long time ago when they built some of the neighborhoods, and they didn't annex them first, and that's why you end up with all these stupid county islands.
Oh, yeah. My dad's house was in Fig Garden County Island, and they loved it. They didn't want to join the city because of all the crazy stuff that they have, rules and the way they do stuff there. Over.
Yep, yeah, my parents lived just north of there in a county island, and they tried to annex it multiple times in the 90s, and everybody voted no. So it's like, well, sorry, city of Fresno, you lost your opportunity. You should have annexed it in the 70s.
Yep, they had that same kind of voting where my dad's place was there in Fig Garden, too. So can't blame them.
Yeah, I mean, there's some niceties that you get, but yeah, then you got to deal with all the other nonsense, and and then you got like Ken. You know, he's got horses. If they annexed his property, you wouldn't be able to have the horses anymore. So, but yeah, I'm sure when they're done with when Ken's done with that place, someone's gonna buy it up and probably put a bunch of apartments on it or something silly, and they'll probably annex it first.
Yep, I think he's got apartments just down the street from him, so that's likely probably the way it'll go. Over.
Yep, drove by those this morning. Yeah, I ended up spending the whole day up at Auberry dealing with a new microwave circuit that a vendor was doing for us, and it was all screwed up, but got the work done.
Well, I guess the problem's on your vendor, so you're off the hook, huh?
You know, yeah, but I still had to sit up there and wait for him to fix it.
Well, that's what the county's paying you. I guess that's okay.
Oh yeah, I had the whole day blocked out. I'm not complaining. It's all good. It's just frustrating. But yeah, and our location up there is weird. The building used to be a bank, and so half the walls are solid concrete, so you can't attach anything to them because they're solid, concrete and rebar walls, and so it just makes things interesting.
Well, if you do attach it, it's permanent. That's what they do a lot with the redheads and stuff. You drill a hole in the concrete, and then you force a redhead in there, and you've got a real permanent connection there. Over.
Yeah, I just have a drill, so. And yeah, and when my vendor was there to install the rack, they couldn't install it on the wall I wanted because it was solid concrete, so it ended up on another wall, and it just made it goofy. But so, oh well. We made it work, and now we have a fast connection up there and decent Wi-Fi.
All right, well that sounds good. Yeah, we install stuff on our block walls all the time. You take a masonry bit and you drill a hole, and you get the right size hole for the right size, a healthy connector, and just hammer it in there. That's and then they're all built so that wedge anchors, I think that's what the common name is, so that when you pull on them after you've hammered them in, they tend to wedge, and they hold, a few thousand pounds real easy. Over.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, and but of course being the county, if I need any of that type of work done, I have to have our maintenance department do it. So I try to do what I can.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I guess the bureaucracy, that's the way they work. Just like all the unions and stuff. I know my wife deals a lot with video stuff, and they've got grips and other people doing stuff. If you're there shooting with a camera and you got to plug another camera in, you got to call over some guy in the union that plugs things in and get him to do it. Over.
Yeah, no, we have a joke at work that we're not allowed to empty our own trash cans because then we're taking work away from someone else and the union won't be happy.
yeah, that's the way it is, I guess. So, anyways, I got to go to work tomorrow, so I guess I'm going to think about turning in here. I was practically falling asleep here and, not doing too much. Over.
Oh, very good. Yeah, we got two more days of school left in the year, and then vacation all next week, and then I don't have to drive kids anywhere in the morning for the next 3 weeks. So that's gonna be good. But still, just gotta get through the next 2 days. But yeah, we'll let you go, and we'll catch you later. KM6SRR, K6USY, DMO6.
Oh, and also, have you heard anything from Marcus? If anything's going on there? Over.
Last time I talked to Marcus was at the Christmas dinner, and it was very brief because he was trying to chat with me about his stuff while I was, trying to coordinate my wife and kids. I'm like, Marcus, just, give me a second.
Okay, I'll just wait to see what's going on. We'll say 73s, K6USY, KM6SRR.
Yep, yeah, I'm not committing or scheduling anything for next week until I get back from Monterey with the family. So we're going to be over at the aquarium for a couple days with the kids as that's their Christmas present. So, and then when I get back into town Tuesday, then I'll figure out the rest of the week. So we'll catch you later. K6USY.
That sounds good. Take lots of pictures. K6USY, KM6SR, 73.
You still in there, Dave? WA6LOL, K6USY, DMO6.
Hey, Aaron, how's it going? Hey, I can start talking and still hear you talking on the other thing here. Yeah, hey, it's working good, Aaron. That time delay's down to about 5 seconds, so it's almost like an echo if I had really good ears and I was in a canyon that was about 10 miles long.
Oh, very good. Yeah, no, and it's kind of fun with the clock there because I can look at my iPad real quick, which I have the stream running on, and yeah, I think I'm down to about 4 seconds, but it all depends on it's going to vary, depending on what device you're on, but yeah, 4 to 5 seconds is not terrible considering that it's live video and audio.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how, I had to look at the clock and then look over at this clock and then, and then subtract the amount of time that it took me to swing my head from one clock to the other. So, I don't know, I came up with about 5 seconds or something, but like you say, 4 seconds. So I don't know how you get that down. How did you get that down from 25 seconds down to 5 seconds or 4 seconds?
It's literally an option in the software. There's an option for normal latency, low latency, and ultra low latency, and I went straight to the ultra low because I was like, well, let's give this a try. So one of the things it does is it means that your device is not caching the stream for as long. And so there's more chances for things to go wrong because between my computer and it hitting your device, 4 to 5 seconds is not a lot of time for dealing with internet connection issues, which is why they have that option in there. So if latency is not as big of a deal, you leave it on normal latency, and then it allows all the devices to buffer more. So the only consequence, the main consequence of shortening the latency is that if someone's got an internet connection that's kind of iffy, they're not going to have a good time.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well, it's coming together, so it sounds like you're going to be heading up there to Mike's and start getting to the point where, put the equipment up there and everything and then get a camera on him. And then the audio, that's going to be very cool to be able to hear everybody else, that's going to be awesome. The nice thing about having no delay is that then, I don't even have my receiver on. I just turn my receiver off and I use the receiver coming over the internet, and then, when I talk, I can hear myself coming back, maybe with an echo, like a large room type echo, and then, but yeah, that becomes super usable then, and, but I used it tonight. I actually kept it on tonight, and then when I'd walk around the room here, it sounded like I had, a lot of different feed, audio stuff going on. So I'm talking to you right now on the moon mounts antenna I've been building. I had to go against everything that I know with antennas, higher, up in the air more and more, and put them low. And I had to hide them from all the noise because my receive problem up here is all the ambient PG&E electrical garbage noise that goes on.
because, people hear me like 10 dB better than I hear them. It's because I have 10 dB of noise garbage going on. So I've managed to trim off 7 or 8 dB of that by hiding my moon bounce antennas behind a hill. And so I'm using a dirt shield between, the angry power pole, one in particular, and then town also, which is in the same direction. So anyway, I'm talking to you on that right now. So when I got my noise reduced by 7 or 8 dB by doing that, and I'm still working on it, I'm going to put up I'll finish the sentence. I was able to work 4 guys on Off the Moon, which is pretty exciting. And it's 4 by 13s, an H frame stack of 4 by 13s. And anyway, now I don't remember what I was going to say next. But anyway, so that's pretty fun. And the next thing I'm going to try is that my top of my antennas peek over top of this hill and see that angry power pole. So when I aim that way, I still have some issues, but I have such good front to back now with the 4 stack and most of the antennas hidden behind the hill that it works much better. But I'm going to improve on that by putting up about 15 feet, a deer fence that'll be 8 feet high on top of this little dirt hill. And so that should should shield me more from the power lines. So anyway, I'm working on it. So that's my project. That's kind of fun. And then I have the XP32s, a pair of those from Mike, the M-squared super moon bounce antennas that Mike is using those up there, and they're too narrow to be able to really use for terrestrial, especially for a net where everybody's coming from everywhere. But if you're just trying to focus on one thing like the moon and you can track really close, that's ideal. So they're 40 feet long. So that's going to be something putting those up, So I'm kind of getting these 13s up and making all my mistakes now and getting up on the learning curve before I tackle 2 40-foot long Yagis that are 16 feet apart. That's going to be some, all the trouble I'm having with these 13s. I can imagine the problems I'll have with that. But anyway, that's what's going on with me. But what an awesome thing this is. I was just thinking about if you had a K6USY website, then you'd have, the live feed all the time, just putting out the Bozo Net stuff and everything. It wouldn't be any delay at all with that kind of stuff. And then, but this YouTube, the delay is down now where it's usable. So anyway, it's working good. K6USY, WA6LOL, getting kind of long-winded here.
Well, sideband was made for long transmissions. WA6LOL, K6USY. Yeah, I noticed your signal was a little different tonight. Usually on that other antenna that you have accidentally fixed in the southerly direction. You're usually a little bit stronger, but you're doing just fine down here. And I do actually own k6usy.com, .org, and .net. I own all 3 of those domains, and I use them for various different things. And I do have a website on k6usy.com where I post pictures. And I do, one of the reasons why I made the dedicated Bozo Nets channel on YouTube is that will be dedicated on the computer up at Mike's house once we get that set up, and then I will put my computer back to my personal YouTube channel. And I will occasionally, on the weekends or whatever, if I'm dinking around on HF, I might turn the streaming on because now I have it set up so I can kind of just fire it off at will. But most of the last couple weeks has just been kind of getting the Bozo Nets figured out and all the things that need to be configured for this, and then we'll move the show up the hill. But the nice thing is it's meant that I got to learn how this all works and get the software on my computer, and I will probably keep streaming occasionally, not as on a rigid schedule like we're doing with the Bozo Nets. But it'll be interesting. And I was going to ask you, I'm assuming that you're working a digital mode off the moon. Which digital mode are you using?
Yeah, K6USY. I'm listening to you on your site, so there's a little bit of a delay for me to come back. WA6LOL. That's how you say things in between your identification. That's pretty good, huh? Okay, now I'm going to turn it down because it's confusing me. Okay, I'll just turn it back up when I'm listening to you. I'm using Q65 digital mode and also JT65 B or Q65A, and it's a 60-second mode, so you transmit for 60 seconds and you listen for 60 seconds, and that's how that works. And so you alternately, you transmit for 60 and then you listen for them, and Q65 goes deeper down into the dirt. You can actually pick up people that are down at minus 30 dB. JT65 is more like down at minus 27. FT8 is, I don't know, minus 20, 23, 24 in there. And so, but you need every dB that you can get your hands on, and a lot of the guys like Mike, when he was, doing a lot of the earlier moonbound stuff, they'd do it with CW, but if the signal got loud enough, then they could actually do it with sideband. But JT65 has made, and the digital modes have made moon bounce much more doable for, the average guy. Originally I had two antennas up, but I had them over on the high noise end of my property next to, in view of that power pole I was talking about in town, and I had like 7, 8, 9 dB of noise all the time that a person that I would be talking to would have to overcome. And this real powerhouse with like 16 times 17 elements, 17 elements antennas, just an amazing array that he uses a big wheel on the outside of this thing and a concrete track to rotate the thing around. And anyway, he emailed me and wanted to set up a sked, and that was my first contact. And he has so much power and antenna, he was able to overcome all of that noise, and I was able to make, that was my first QSO. Well, since then, I've moved, I've built some, an H-frame of 4x13s behind a hill, hidden from the PG&E pole, and that I've been talking about. And now I can work guys, just regular guys. And hopefully if I get my noise down more and get Mike's M-squared antennas up there, I'll be able to work. Then I'll be a powerhouse guy. Then I'll be able to, well, not the biggest of the big guys, but at least I'll be a, then I'll be one of the guys that'll be able to work, the new guys that are just got single Yankees and stuff. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like a 2.7-second delay coming back from the moon. So you can actually well, 2.7 seconds. It's if you work somebody that you can also hear terrestrially, that's a tough word, then you can actually copy them twice. You can copy their direct path and then their 2.7 second delay off the moon. And right now the degradation, it's a level of crappiness in dB is like minus 12 or 15 or something because of the way that the sun is lining up with the moon. You get a lot of sun noise and stuff. So it's pretty exciting. And there's maybe 1,000 or more guys worldwide that are on EME to work, and so I get to work all these guys and all over the world on 2 meters. I worked a guy in Italy that was that first guy. It's just really a challenge. It's really taking ham radio for me to the extreme. Since I've done satellites and I've done meteor scatter and I've done weak signal DX stuff, and working 2 meters terrestrial down to Tijuana all the time, and from Sonora, that's pretty cool. 6 meter and done all the skip and the ES stuff and tropo and done 2 meter tropo stuff and gotten pretty good distances. So now this is just the real challenge of ham radio. What's the toughest thing you could do, is bounce little signals off the moon and overcome tremendous path losses. That's what I'm aiming for, and then I can get up, kind of start living around the moon cycle. Get up when the moon does, and go to bed after it goes down. And start working guys all over the world and everything. So I got 4 contacts so far. So anyway, this project with the Bozo Net's pretty awesome. What's going on there, and so I guess getting the clock on and getting mic on camera and everything, and then with the audio feed, your broadcast audio techniques, it's all going to sound pretty good. K6USY, WA6LOL, Sonora.
Oh yeah, we definitely still have a few things to figure out, and we'll solve all those problems hopefully in the next couple weeks. But very cool and all that the EME stuff. I had the chance to almost do EME once, and then stuff wasn't working at that station. So, but I figure that is a rabbit hole I will choose to go down at a later date. I got tons of time. But definitely sounds really cool, and and then you can tell people that you've worked DX on 2 meters and confuse all the technicians and all the new guys that don't understand that you can bounce signals off the moon. So, alrighty, Dave, I need to get out of here. It's 10 o'clock. I got a couple things I got to get done here before I go to bed. So, and I usually try to shut down the rigs at 10 o'clock. So, I will say 73 to you and to the few people that are still listening on YouTube, and we will be back tomorrow night on 432. So WA6LOL K6USY DMO6 73, sir.
K6USY WA6LOL. All right, Aaron. Good night. And I still want to have an eyeball with you. I haven't met you. I met Ron and of course Mike and then OIB, Ken, and some of the other guys down there. But I was looking forward to meeting you. You seem like an interesting guy to me. I like the things you're real busy in ham radio and know a lot about networking and stuff that I know very little about. So anyway, all right, good yakking at you, and sleep good tonight, and then maybe one of these club functions that's coming up early in the year, I'll be able to get down there for that and eventually meet you. K6USY and anybody else that's hanging around here, WA6LOL Sonora, going to be QRT.
Alrighty, 73, K6USY, Fresno. And good night all. I'll be dropping the stream here in a couple seconds. K6USY, Fresno.
By the way, when I send a solid signal, I switch over to FM, and I go down frequency a little bit, and then I just slide the thing back and forth. It makes a really cool sine wave over on the left side of the waterfall. I thought that was kind of cool. I'm working on my coordination to make a square wave.